Bro, I cannot believe what just happened. If you don't know, Keenan Allen just got traded. Okay? I am in shock right now. I literally made 2 videos today already, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go walk the dog because nothing's going to happen. I'm feeling good, right? And then all of a sudden, somebody texts me and says, bro, Keenan Allen just got traded. At first, I did not believe this because I thought there was no way that Keenan Allen would be traded. Puva, you're hurt. Bro, I'm hurt. I am hurt. Can we think about my feelings? Bro, I seriously cannot believe this. Hold on. Let me pull up all of the tweets and stuff because there is so much to talk about right now. I had to go live for, the first time ever. So bear with me here as I get set up. Oh my gosh, there is so much to freaking talk about right now. This is the first move. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is the first move that I don't like because Keenan Allen was just traded for a 4th-round pick to the Chicago Bears. He's worth more than a 4th-round pick. And the Chiefs are signing Marquise Brown. Did you guys just see this? Chiefs are signing Marquise Brown. Did you know this? Is nobody going to tell me? What is happening right now? It was going so well. Oh, I don't want to freak out that, Keenan Allen's off the team. He didn't want to take a pay cut, okay? That is why he wasn't able to get that contract. I guess, you wouldn't need to take a pay cut to get that max restructure, right? You could add those void years onto it. You know what I mean? You wouldn't need to take a pay cut, right? And so were they forcing him to try and take a pay cut? Is that what was happening? Is there any report right now? Let me go through Twitter and just try to keep up to date here because I don't want to spread any misinformation. But what it seems like right now, okay. Oh my God, even Derwin James doing the crying emoji. Oh my gosh. But it seems like right now that Keenan Allen didn't want to take a pay cut and they wanted him to take a pay cut. Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa both took the pay cut. That's what's being reported right now. And Keenan Allen, listen, I don't blame him for not wanting to take a pay cut. That dude he's actually going to the Bears. I cannot believe this. I wanted this dude to retire a Charger, man. Oh my gosh. Now we lost both Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. How much does this save against the cap, by the way? If Keenan Allen's gone, that's $20 million, right? So we got a lot of money to spend. We could actually be looking at getting a free agent wide receiver in here. Only way this can make me feel better is if the Chargers traded for Justin Jefferson. Oh, I don't even think he's available. And also it would cost so much money. I think the move right now, it's got to be Malik Neighbors or Rome Odunze. Whoever your pick is at wide receiver. Who are we going to trade for Justin Jefferson? Keep dreaming. You're right. I mean, who are we going to trade for Justin Jefferson? You would just give the 5th pick, and then what else? That would obviously be the base of the trade, the 5th pick for Justin Jefferson, but I wouldn't even want to do that. And I don't think that the Vikings would want to trade away Justin Jefferson. They're probably going to trade up and draft J.J. McCarthy, right? You would want a guy like Justin Jefferson for J.J. 100% you want a guy like that. Hey, I'm Chris says I'm crying. Bro, I was about to cry. I had to go live. Oh my God. So what are we going to do at receiver? Can we get some suggestions here? What's going to happen at wide receiver? Let me see if I can pull up the chat so you guys can see it in the stream here. This can't be true. I know, bro. Get T. Higgins. Trade for T. Higgins would be a lot, man. And then also, then you're in the same position. Like, let's say, hypothetically, Justin Jefferson is available. You're in that same position that you got to pay that man a lot of money, like, very soon. Confirmed Allen to the Bears. Yep, confirmed, man. For a 4th-round pick. Oh, man. Bro. So, they wanted Here's what I'm getting from all this. They wanted everyone to take a pay cut. They wanted all 4 of these guys to take a pay cut. Chargers got fleeced. I mean, did they? Because let's say they were forcing Keenan Allen to try to take a pay cut, right? So you're getting at least something out of him. A 4th round pick, like, that's better than nothing. That's better than cutting him. Because if that was the other option, I would rather have the 4th round pick and see him in that Bears jersey. I could not imagine cutting him, bro. Trade to 3 for Marvin Harrison Jr. I think 5th pick, we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot at 5th pick, man. We'll be all right, but damn, losing the security blanket has to hurt for Herbert. Yeah, that's true. Bro, Keenan Allen was the guy. That was the 3rd down guy. How many years did Keenan have left on his contract? I think this upcoming year was the last year on his contract. Let me try to make sure. Let me pull up like what I'm looking at for you guys so that you can see. Okay. That's not it. That's it. And take that off. Nope. It's this. Okay. Now we can see what I'm looking at here. Pull over my OBS. This is Twitter. All right. Welcome to Twitter. As we refresh and try to find more news. Here is a big tweet. I didn't mean to click that. Right here. They approached him about a pay cut. He declined. Okay, so this all happened like today. So this was like immediate. They were working quickly here. I made a video, I think like 2 days ago, that I thought they were trying to keep all 4 guys. I really think they were. I really think that they were trying to keep Keenan Allen as much as they could. That's probably why we were all waiting so long for Joe Hortiz to make some kind of move. And then he was like, yo, take a pay cut. And Keenan said no. Here it is again. Okay, Albert Breer this time. Chargers approached him about a pay cut as they had with Joey and Khalil. Keenan Allen did not want to do that. And then the trade, contract unchanged. Bears came forward with their offer. Yeah, Keenan Allen was due that roster bonus on Sunday, but I didn't even think that mattered because I thought he was just going to stay on the team. We all thought he was going to get extended. I was saying that as if that was like a sure thing. I'm not mad at a player for not wanting to take a pay cut. I'm not either. I don't think anybody should be mad at Keenan Allen, honestly. If you want to be mad at somebody, like, I don't think you should be mad in general. If you want to be mad at somebody, I think you got to be mad at Joe Hortiz because he was wanting him to take a pay cut, like forcing him into that situation. Maybe Jim Harbaugh was the guy doing that. We don't know, but I liked all the moves that were going on so far. Holy crap, I didn't even think of this. Chargers offense now, we're without Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, and Gerald Everett. We're going to have nobody on this offense from last year. Wow, that is like 90% of the offensive production that is not going to be on the team. And all we got was a 4th round pick and hopefully a comp pick here and a comp pick here from Gerald Everett and Austin Eckler. Oh my God, can we trade Quentin Johnson? No. What are you going to get for Quentin Johnson, bro? If Keenan Allen goes for a 4th, what, are you going to get Quentin Johnson to go for a conditional 8th? Go for like a flyer in the undrafted free agent pool? Quentin Johnson will not net you much. We need to keep committed to QJ, if anything. We need to stay with him even more. We need to pump him up with some of that Superman serum. The juice. Like I said, man, you know, Malik Neighbors, so much more likely. So much more likely now at 5. Oh my God. Tyler Schoen from Guilty as Charged podcast, bro. Go follow him. He was 1 to 2 seasons away from passing Antonio Gates and a bunch of freaking records. Oh, we missed that. We missed the records. Oh. And yeah, if you didn't know also, Marquise Brown, he's not available either anymore. He's going to the Chiefs on a 1-year deal. Oh my gosh. So then with the 4th round pick, that's got to be like an extra pick probably for a running back or something. So we're at least going to have running back depth. I'm still in shock. Oh, man. Chargers have 4th and a 5th now. I don't see anything about a 5th. Is there anything about a 5th in here? Current wide receiver room. Oh, Simi Fehoko is still on this team, bro. How many of you guys knew that? Anybody is Simi Fehoko fan in here? Simi Fehoko season, bro. Keenan Allen's gone. Simi Fehoko, he's going to step it up. Thanks for the 5, Drew. I'm not mad because I understand the cap hell. That's true. But I thought Keenan Allen was the only safe one. I did too. Wearing his jersey all day today and tomorrow. Trusting Harbaugh. My gosh. That's the thing too, man. We signed up for this. Jim Harbaugh was going to come in and he was going to bring his guys and he was not going to take any prisoners. Keenan Allen is one of those guys that I guess is not a Harbaugh guy because he approached him with that pay cut. Keenan Allen, I got nothing against him. He said no. And that sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles. Business is business. Oh my gosh. I was walking my dog. I was having a good day, guys. I mean, I saw freaking a good defensive tackle being signed. Poona Ford. I saw Hayden Hurst. At first, I thought he was a good run blocker, but I was looking at the wrong statistic in PFF. He's actually not very good. He's just basically a pass catcher. Oh my gosh. And then, like, I was even looking at other guys that we could get on offense, like CJ Udoza. What is his freaking name? Udoza. CJ Udoza. Because we need tight end depth. Now we need wide receiver depth even more. I'm still processing this. Any wide receiver suggestions in free agency right now? Read this message, please. Bro, I looked right over at the right time, Michael Emmanuel. That's a strong name, by the way, Michael. $10 from Heavy D, bro. I say we blame Sussy Boy McClain for this one. Hey, it's not my fault. I kept saying that I thought he was going to stay on this team. I thought there was no way. I thought no shot that this would happen, especially for a 4th. And then it makes it even worse, bro, honestly, that Kadarius Toney, freaking Marquise Brown is going to the Chiefs because that is a great signing for them. Oh my gosh. QJ is really wide receiver 2. Is he wide receiver 2 right now? I don't even. Josh Palmer, I guess, is wide receiver 1. Drew with the $2. Thank you, bro. Jetta or Higgins? Bro, if I'm Joe Hortiz, if I'm the Chargers, I'm saying neither. I don't want to trade for a wide receiver. I want to draft the wide receiver. I want to get Malik Neighbors. 100%. Resign Mike Williams also in free agency. That is an option. Header in the chat. That's an option, bro. I was saying it before this freaking terrible thing even happened, man. Before the event. We'll just call it that from that right now. The event. Darius Davis even. With the crying face. Okay? Oh my God. Hunter Renfrow. James. He kind of... How did he perform last season? Wasn't it like a really weird last season for Hunter Renfrow this past year? Because he couldn't see the field. And I don't think he was injured. They just were not playing that dude. But... I will say when he was on the field in the years previous to this past season, I thought he looked good. He looked like he could run a route pretty well. He was one of those route runner kind of guys like Keenan Allen is. And now that Keenan Allen is gone, we don't have a route runner like that. Josh Palmer is the best route runner we got right now. Budhound, you're heartbroken, dog. Me too, man. Neighbors. Everyone wants Malik Neighbors. Everybody wants Malik Neighbors. I agree. Renfrow would be a great pickup. Yeah, Ivan or Ivan. Probably it's Ivan. I think Hunter Renfrow would be. I would be concerned with what Hunter Renfrow is going to be because what we saw from him a couple years ago was good, but this past season it does worry me. $3 from Jordan Snyder. Thank you, man. Jordan Snyder. Everyone is so upset. Just found out. Bro, I hope I didn't break the news to you. You'll hate me if I was the one to break the news to you. My gosh. Who was the one who said it to me on Twitter, by the way? Keenan Allen. Kevin. Bro, Kevin, are you in here? Breaking the news to me like that? You're just going to say Keenan Allen? Not brace yourself or anything? And even like a 4th round pick too. Like, oh my gosh. I keep scrolling through Twitter like I'm going to find something new. And honestly, like I'm just as broken up about this wide receiver market and how everything is shaping out, because a lot of these wide receivers are getting money. Marquise Brown going to the Chiefs is a good freaking move. $5 from Drew. Give the Pats our 5th and 4th from the Bears for their 3rd. Us in Arizona don't take a quarterback. They still get their guy at 5, and we get Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't know if that's enough to move up. If a 5th and a 4th for their 3rd to move up 2 spots, that's not going to do it. I don't think that'll do it. Thanks for $2, Captain, man. I appreciate it. Surprised Michael Davis still with the Chargers. He's not. Michael Davis is a free agent. Michael Davis is not on the team right now. Okay? He is gone. Michael Davis is gone. So we actually need... Holy crap. I need to look at this depth chart. Because now our perimeter guys on both sides of the ball, offense and defense, we got like nothing. Oh my gosh. It's looking bad. The wide receiver. So we have $23 million in cap space, and that is before the restructures and pay cuts of Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. So we got some money to spend. All right. We got some money right now. Ryan Wilson alert. What happened? I'm refreshing Twitter. Nothing new right now. Oh, bro, you're scaring me. I am on edge. Like, oh my gosh. Let me go back to the chat. I think I missed something. Heavy D with the 5. Thank you, man. What are our chances for getting Marvin Harrison Jr.? Should we trade up and secure him? Like I said it earlier on the stream. I think we're in a good spot right now at 5. I really do. And if you can get Malik Neighbors at 5, I think the difference between Malik Neighbors and Marvin Harrison Jr., I don't think it's worth trading up, and what that package would have to be. I don't think that's worth it with the difference that Marvin Harrison Jr. is to Malik Neighbors. Both of these guys are going to be 10, 12, 13, 14 freaking year vets that have the potential to be the best wide receiver in the NFL at some point. And the Bears now, they're at 9. Their pick at 9. They're not going to draft a wide receiver. So that pushes other wide receivers down. If we don't take a receiver high, it pushes some of those other guys down that we could maybe take in the 2nd round. Let me go to PFF. Because like I said, guys, the perimeter, okay, guys on the perimeter, we didn't have a lot of good players to begin with in our secondary. But man, now our wide receiver room is looking just as freaking bad. Just a big slap in the face. Oh, well, thanks for the 10, bro. But yeah, huge freaking slap in the face, man. And it didn't have to happen because they wanted him to take a pay cut. That's what all of this is stemming from, the pay cut. That's what they wanted. If they didn't approach him with a pay cut, I am almost certain that he would still be on this team. And we'd be a 4th round pick less rich, which I'm totally fine with, by the way. Here I am, PFF mock draft simulator. Is this what we've come to now? It was going so well. Let's do 3 rounds. Draft for need, care for positional value. I guess we'll keep it there. Randomness, a little less random. And then let's go for public board, okay? We're going to enter this draft. Let's see who drops to us. This is how I expect it to go. This is exactly how I expect. Depression simulator? Bro, Juan, yeah, absolutely. Michael, watch and see. Watch and see what? What's going to happen? What do you mean? What is this cryptic message, Aether? Okay, here's how I am actually expecting this draft to go so far. Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels. It's going to be 3 quarterbacks. Number 4 is where it gets a little bit iffy, but I'm pretty certain that Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be a stick and pick for the Cardinals. I don't know what you guys think. I know there's a lot of talk about teams wanting to trade up. One of those teams is the Vikings. They just lost Kirk Cousins. I'm getting a bunch of Y spams in the chat, bro. I know. We're still feeling the Keenan Allen. But anyway, this is how I think it's going to go. So what do? Malik Neighbors is here. I think it's too early for Brock Bowers. I would want to trade down, but I'm just going to say we stick and pick because Malik Neighbors is the best player available. And the Ravens are one of those teams, like they legit go for the best player available. And if they stick and pick, it doesn't matter what position. It just so happens to be that freaking wide receiver is it our top need? Oh man, is wide receiver our top need right now? It may be. Yeah, I think it is. I'm going to say wide receiver is probably our biggest need right now. And it matches up perfectly with the freaking board because he is the best player available. Oh my gosh. Josh Palmer is wide receiver 1 and Quentin Johnston is wide receiver 2 right now. Oh God. And JJ McCarthy went to the Giants. Joe Alt, obviously, to the Titans. We're all expecting that based off what that free agency looks like with the Tennessee Titans. Romo Dunze at 8. Yeah, this is really accurate, actually. This is about how I expected to go down. Terrion Arnold at 15. So that's when the defense... Oh, man. Nate Wiggins is even gone. Cooper DeJean. I like Cooper DeJean as well. That you talk about a guy who's so crafty. He's got all the freaking tools, man. He's like a blue-collar worker. I like Palmer as number 2. I do too, but we have no wide receiver 1 right now. Who's going to be catching ball? Who's going to be the guy that you throw it to on third down when you need that conversion? Because that was Keenan Allen for many freaking years. Let me just go to Twitter, make sure nothing happened because I am on edge right now still. Oh my gosh. By the way, anybody you see in my timeline, Tyler Schoon, Daniel Wade, go follow these guys. These are all great guys to follow, man. Arjun as well. Yeah. Okay. Second round, let's see who's available because, again, like I said, the perimeter on both sides of the ball, wide receiver and defense. We need a guy like Mikey Sandristle. I do like Mike Sandristle. What do you guys think? Let's do a community pick here in the second round. Kool-Aid McKinstry. Oh, man, he would have been so good at this spot in the second round too, but for this Bears offense to get Keenan Allen, like that is going to be great for Caleb Williams. And then also Dallas Turner. Oh my gosh. For only a 4th round pick. We need a center. We do need a center. But is this too early for a center? Because where did Jackson Powers Johnson go? He went at 26 to the Bucks. Think logically here. Yeah, think logically. Give me a Roman Wilson. Tom Telesco cooked us one last time. We need to bolt up hard right now. You're right, Captain. Let's get the energy up, okay? Because, yeah, Keenan Allen's gone, but we got a really nice 4th rounder, okay? With that 4th rounder, we could draft a 4th round player. Think about that. Chill, bro. I am chill. I'm on edge right now. I can't believe this is happening. Listen, I got nothing against Keenan Allen. Like I said, I don't know if you're tuning in just now. I have nothing against him. He didn't want to take the pay cut. It's fine. I'm fine also with Joe Hortiz getting at least something out of him. 4th round pick, it's fine. Lauren Brown says we are doomed. We are not doomed. We are not doomed. We just drafted, if you're just tuning in, we just drafted Malik Neighbors, man, in the 1st round of the PFF mock draft sim. Malik Neighbors is now wide receiver 1. I'm just going to throw out the bets right now. He's probably going to be wide receiver 1 for this team. If not him, Marvin Harrison Jr. in some weird way, or even Romo Dunze. What if the Chargers like Romo Dunze more than Malik Neighbors? Any one of those 3 guys is going to be wide receiver 1 now. What is this message? I love Slay too, but we have Jim Harbaugh. You are right, Andre. Listen, if the decision was between Keenan Allen or Jim Harbaugh, it's a tough decision. I love Keenan, but I'm a Chargers fan. I'm a Chargers fan, man. I would have loved to see Keenan retire a Charger. Oh my gosh. I wish I could pull up like Keenan Allen highlights, but I'll be copyright struck. In the second round here, we already got our receiver in Malik Neighbors. Zach Frazier is tempting, but man, you look at the corner depth on this team as well. I think that's something that we need to address. And I think I like Kamari Lassiter a lot, but he ran a very slow 40 at his Georgia Pro Day. O-line, then wide receiver. See, if you go O-line in the first round, then you could be losing on some of these generational wide receivers, because right now, the only wide receivers we have here, you guys see a wide receiver one? Xavier Legette could be. Jalen Polk would be a nice Mike Williams replacement. I like Jalen McMillan, but not enough to make him my wide receiver one. I mean, this is going to be right out the gate, guys, that this rookie wide receiver is going to have to really step it up and play some big minutes and get some big passes thrown to him. I'm going to say round 2, I'm looking at tackle, not looking at wide receiver because we just drafted it, and I'm also looking at cornerback. These are the options here. Oh, man. We don't need to draft tackle this highly. The interior guys, I like a lot of the interior guys. Renardo Green, I like a lot as well. Can you imagine if we get Malik Neighbors and Renardo Green, the battles that we would see in training camp, man, and in practice? Because they were going at it in college football was it this past year or was it 2 years ago? I think it was this past season. If you don't know about that, you should look it up. Renardo Green versus Malik Neighbors. Go center. I like Mike Sanders still. I like Mikey too. But we do need a guy with size to play the outside. TJ Tampa would be a really nice fit. I'm going to take Mike Sanders still. That's who I'm thinking in the second round. Trade down and get Bowers and Xavier Legette in the second. A trade down would be a great option too. But I'm just thinking at this point, because here's the thing. We really need a wide receiver so badly. Kyrie Jackson. Why would Keenan have to take a pay cut coming off his best year, but not Bosa? No, they both did. So here's the thing. Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, and Keenan Allen were all asked to take pay cuts. And probably even Mike Williams. Well, maybe not, because maybe they just wanted to cut him. Because that $20 million was a lot. I'm so depressed. Don't be depressed, bro. Hey, it's still looking up. In the general graph here, it's like a blip. I promise you. We are in such a good position in the first round, man. We really are. That 5th pick is going to be so freaking valuable. And I'm saying right now, I think we're going to stay there and we're going to take Malik Neighbors. Now we need Marvin Harrison Jr. We don't need Marvin Harrison Jr., but would I rather have him over Malik Neighbors? Yeah, but Malik Neighbors on this team, I'm not complaining. That's a great wide receiver. Who did we draft first? Just got here. Number 1, Malik Neighbors. We stuck and picked. And then number 2, all the way down here, Mike Samerstill. Ooh, Ennis Rakestraw went 2 picks before us to the Cardinals. Ennis Rakestraw is also another guy that you guys should be looking at. That's a scheme fit right there. Guy with size on the outside. He plays very physical. He can defend the run really well as well. Blake Corum, way too early for Blake Corum. I don't want to draft a running back. Mike Samerstill in round 2. Malik Neighbors in round 1. And now I'm looking at improving my defense. But, oh man, Tavondre Sweat. That's very interesting. Jalen Wright is still here. A little bit early for a running back. Bro, my mind is fried with this freaking Keenan Allen news. Any chance for Marvin Harrison Jr.? Arizona trading down? Arizona could trade down. But would you want to if you're Arizona? Because if I'm the Cardinals, and right now if I'm the Chargers, I'm wanting to stick and pick and take a generational talent at wide receiver. This move with Keenan Allen only encourages me to stay there. Just make sure nothing happened. Oh my freaking God. I really cannot believe that. A 4th rounder. Donald Parham. Big year for Quentin. Bro, I hope so. Big year for Quentin Johnson. Luke McCaffrey is the next Puka Nacua. Book it. Kyle, you may be right. I love the way that man runs routes. He's kind of a speedy guy. That's Christian McCaffrey, if you didn't know. I think that's Christian McCaffrey's younger brother. I think at this spot, man, in the 3rd round, we can kind of go anywhere we want to here. Interior offensive line. Ooh, Cedric Van Pran, Bo Limmer. And then we got 3 Michigan men right here. But I think Cedric Van Pran, I actually just said this in one of my videos. That would be a great pick to take in the 3rd round. get that center position. And so this is what it's going to look like. Post Keenan Allen trade. This is what I'm looking at. Malik Neighbors at 5. Getting some DB depth back there. Mike Sanders still. He's going to be like a nickel slot kind of guy. Going to be playing closer towards that line of scrimmage. And then also Cedric Van Pran, the center out of Georgia. This is a very smart, heady guy. If you want to get somebody that can help Justin Herbert call out what the defense is doing, Cedric Van Pran is that dude. He can see what defenses are doing, call guys out who are blitzing. That was my phone, by the way. Don't worry. Hate this team sometimes. No, listen, man. With roster management and things that happen with trades like this, like sometimes you got to bite the bullet. You just have to bite the bullet sometimes. Andre, trust in Harbaugh. How can we not? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I still have my faith in Jim Harbaugh. This doesn't change how I feel about the coach, or, it doesn't change how I feel about Joe Hortiz either. Because I think he was really in a tough spot, man. And we were in a position just a couple days ago, like 2 or 3 days ago, we thought that maybe they would be able to keep every single one of these guys if we re-sign Mike Williams in free agency. But now Keenan Allen is gone. Where's our cap space right here? $23 million. You guys see this? I can't highlight. Oh my gosh. But we have $23 million in cap space now with this Keenan Allen trade. And so this does not take into account the Khalil Mack and the Joey Bosa restructures, which is going to be, oh man, if I had to guess, like another $15 million. Thanks for the 5, bro. At least he didn't go to the Chiefs. Oh, I'm heartbroken with Allen gone, man. Don't even suggest the Chiefs. Oh, if he went to the Chiefs, I would be like way more upset. That would suck. What about Brandon Ayuk? See, here's the thing with getting a veteran wide receiver, man, and even just trading for a veteran wide receiver. You have to pay that man. And like, yeah, we have a ton of cap space next year and the year after that. We have over $100 million. Can I go here and check that? Yeah, $190 million next year, $180 million the year after that, and then that's when Justin Herbert's contract kicks in to $46 million in 2026. So we do have the cap space to spend, but you don't want to, trade Keenan Allen away, who is an aging receiver. He's still great, but you want to get younger at that position when you can, and we are in a great spot right now to do this, to get this going. Malik Neighbors at 5. That's the future right now. Or Rome Odunze. If it's Rome Odunze, I'm still happy. I'm maybe not as happy as a Malik Neighbors or Marvin Harrison Jr., but I'd still be happy, man. Can we still get Marvin Harrison Jr.? Timmy, listen, Timmy. The Cardinals need to trade down, and the Vikings need to trade up if we want to get Marvin Harrison Jr. I want my wide receiver 1 back. This isn't fair. Bro sounds so depressed. Chris, I'm trying not to sound depressed, man. I'm trying. Sad day to be a Bolts fan. Listen, overall, it's kind of like an okay day to be a Chargers fan, because it was today that we had the Joey Bosa restructure that saved $10 million. And then we didn't even know at the time, but he took a pay cut. Oh my gosh. Khalil Mack also took a pay cut. That was announced. So we do have like a ton of money. Let me look at the free agent pool with wide receivers, because I want to at least look to see if there is any wide receiver that could be a good fit for us that is not a ton of money. Available wide receivers. This is Spot Rack, by the way. Mike Williams is number 1. Mike Williams is the number 1 wide receiver. What do you guys think about him? Better Allen traded 1 year too soon rather than 1 year too late. You're right, Anthony. But I'd rather him not be traded at all, bro. Because he could have stayed on this team for another 3 years. He was not slowing down. Like, he just came off one of his best freaking seasons. Will Patriots trade picks with us and the 4th round pick? I mean, what would we want from the Patriots? Why not drop Bosa? He took the pay cut, man. As much as people love to trash on Joey Bosa, he did take that pay cut. And Khalil Mack, man, he was coming off his best season too, just like Keenan Allen was. And Khalil Mack even took that pay cut, bro. Nuts. Paris Campbell, I mean, if he's cheap, what's the market value on this dude? 3.5 million. Okay, Paris Campbell for 3.5 million. You can count me in on that. Jakeem Grant is a bit too old. Mecole Hardman, he's got some issues. He is a speed guy. I do want a speed guy. Oh my gosh. Am I really looking at Michael Thomas right now? He's 31 years old. How much is he expected to get paid? 9.2 million. I don't know. He does fit that mold of what Keenan Allen was. He's not obviously not as good as Keenan Allen is. I would consider that maybe for like 7 million a year. Honestly, I might consider that, but still, I think you have to draft Malik Neighbors now, or Rome Odunze, one of the wide receivers at 5. You have to draft Tyler Boyd, 29 years old. This past season, he kind of had a down year. It was a weird down year, and this is a guy who he really does fit that Keenan Allen mold a lot. You're looking for a Keenan Allen replacement in free agency. I don't think you can find a better guy than Tyler Boyd. What is his market value? It's going to be over 10. 8. Okay, 8.7. This is actually, I might do that. I think I might do that for that money. Maybe like 2 years, it's 16 million with incentives. So like he could hit 8 million a year. But then he is also going to have a market. Other teams are going to want to sign this guy as well. But Tyler Boyd, he's like, what is he, 6'1" or 6'2"? And he played along the inside a lot. This was a really good slot receiver when he was with the Bengals. Obviously, like I just said, last year was a big down year for him. So that's going to decrease his market value. But if he can get back to that playing speed and the, what he was doing before last season, it's worth a flyer, right? Look at our wide receiver room right now. It's got to be worth it. Braxton Berrios, a little bit too much of a slot guy. But we could use that for the right money. Trade for T. Higgins. I'm not down to trade for a wide receiver. I don't know about trading for a wide receiver, man. A lot of people are talking about T. Higgins. A lot of you guys like T. Higgins. What about the other guy, Tyler Boyd, the other Bengals receiver? Because then you don't have to pay any draft capital to get Tyler Boyd. And it's not going to stop you from drafting Malik Neighbors. I think T. Higgins, you'd pay him and you trade like a second round pick. Maybe that's what it's going to get, or that's what it's going to take to get T. Higgins, because he was franchise tagged and they're just holding on to him right now, waiting for some team to trade for him, and then they're going to extend him and pay him a ton of money. Is that the position we want to be in with ourselves right now? Paying T. Higgins a ton of money and trading a second round pick? Boyd being wide receiver 1, though? No. He would not be wide receiver 1. He would just kind of replicate to an extent what Keenan Allen was giving us. So that would not be wide receiver 1. Wide receiver 1 would be this man, Malik Neighbors. I think that's what it's got to be. Allen is one of the last San Diego Chargers. Oh my gosh, he was. Bro, wait, is Joey Bosa the last San Diego Charger? Is that confirmed? Where the hell is Guyton? Jalen Guyton? Yeah. Wait a minute. Is Jalen Guyton a free agent this year? I think he is. An undrafted, or not undrafted, unrestricted free agent. Joey Bosa is the last San Diego Charger. Wow. That's like poetry, man. Because a lot of people don't like Joey Bosa. He's had his issues, man, in the past. Struggled with those injuries, throwing helmets on the sideline. Someone's got to pick up the helmet, man. Oh my gosh. Bosa did not take a pay cut? No, he did. Bosa did take a pay cut. I'm pretty sure that was confirmed, but that's what I've been reading on Twitter from a bunch of different sources. Him and Khalil Mack took the pay cut. And at first, I actually didn't think he did, because you just restructured Joey Bosa. That right there saves you $10 million. So with him taking a pay cut, they have even more cap space now. That's why right now I'm looking at these wide receivers. Yeah, I don't think like anybody else in this wide receiver market I would take a shot at. I did like Chase Claypool for a while, but he's kind of a head case, man. I don't think I'd take it. Oh, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Okay, so Donovan Peoples-Jones, was a pretty good wide receiver at Michigan. This is a guy who was with Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. And he has the ability to be a punt returner as well. He was a good return man. Oh, man, but I don't think he can replicate like what Keenan Allen would do. So this would be a good guy to bring in, but it wouldn't be someone that can give you what Keenan gave you. Because what Keenan gives you is that route running, man, that assuredness. The, like, what do you call it? The blanket, the QB blanket, like a quarterback's best friend. Like what Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce is. Donovan Peoples-Jones is not going to be that Keenan Allen security blanket for Justin Herbert. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. I mean, anybody on defense, because we got money now. Hey, we could pay J.C. Jackson a ton of money. Xavier Howard, though, would not cost us anything in the comp pick system because he was cut. And Xavier Howard, I think he's got some size to play on the outside. Throw a flyer there. Justin Simmons might even be able to pay a guy like Justin Simmons now because that $20 million that we are saving with the trade of Keenan Allen, it's significant, man. Now we are players. We're players in free agency now. Here's Michael Davis, by the way. He's not on the team right now. And I don't think he's going to be re-signed. Austin Johnson could get re-signed. I think I already said that in my video that I just made. What a great day to be a Chargers fan. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to catch up with the chat here, man. It's going so fast. Sorry. That was hilarious. The JC comment, bro. Sometimes you just got to laugh at it. JC Jackson right now, fun fact. JC Jackson is the highest paid defensive back on the Chargers right now and for next year. And we still have a bunch of money to spend. So it's actually, we are out of cap hell. Like the cap hell that we were in, it is gone. So I'm thinking now, with the money that we have, we did just re-sign Alohi Gilman, but a safety with range that we can actually get now is Justin Simmons. This does affect the no, wait. Justin Simmons was cut. Oh. Chat. How are we feeling about Justin Simmons? Because what this could be is we save some money against the cap. We get that 4th round pick. And we use some of that money to get a guy like Justin Simmons back there. A really nice rangy safety. That could be what this Keenan Allen trade nets us. The level of freak out here is a little silly. I am freaking out a little bit. It's more of shock, to be honest with you, because I was not expecting this to happen. Today felt like a regular season game. We're winning most of the game only to lose in the last second. Minter uses 3 safeties. We need another safety since JT Woods is ill. Moses, you're right. That's why I do like Justin Simmons, man. We just paid Gilman. No, we didn't pay Gilman a ton of money. And listen, Alohi Gilman does deserve to be on this team. He was kind of like a ball hawk last year. He had his nose around the ball a ton. And I think even later on in 2022, the second half of 2022, he was starting to click. And so he built that momentum to go into this past season. That's why I'm comfortable saying that Alohi Gilman can be an actual contributor for us at safety. But Justin Simmons is more of the rangy kind of guy that we might want in the back end. If we look at offense, oh, man. Odell Beckham Jr. could be a target because Odell, if there's anybody that kind of gives you what Keenan Allen does to an extent, I think it might be Odell Beckham Jr. right now in this market. It might be. He is 31 years old. He's had those injuries, man. But we got the money now. We got the money. Bring on the money. Oh my gosh. Okay. So here's what I want to make very clear. This is not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Far from it. This has been a great offseason so far, guys. No to Odell? Okay. I'd be fine with saying no to Odell. And you maybe even be right by saying no to Odell because he might cost you too much money. I think that You might be right, Jeff. My name Jeff. Sorry. Some of you guys do like Odell, it looks like. Brandon Ayuk, I don't want to trade for a for wide receiver, man. I don't want to spend any draft capital. And also, especially with the emphasis on getting in securing as many draft picks as possible. Joe Hortiz said every pick is valuable. Every single pick is valuable. And that's because he can find guys later in the rounds that, you know, will develop into being good players. We're so used to Tom Telesco draft picks with like the 5th, 6th, 7th round being a bunch of nobodies, you know, and they don't stay on this team. I think Alohi Gilman was like the only day 3 guy that got an extension for the Chargers. So having draft picks now with Joe Hortiz, it is really valuable. That's one good thing. This 4th round draft pick that we got for Keenan Allen, just because we have Joe Hortiz, it is more valuable than it would have been last year. Okay? I think we can all agree on that. And if it was last year and it was a 3rd round pick, it'd be even less valuable than a 4th round pick because we all know the Tom Telesco 3rd round picks. Sweet Jump says, how's it going in here? The guilty as charged guys are all depressed. We're a little sad. We're a little sad, but we have our hopes up because it's not the end of the world. It is not the end of the world. And this now, honestly, if you were on the Malik Neighbors train, you want to put some coal into that little furnace there because it's starting to speed up, buddy. It is absolutely speeding up. Odell Beckham lives in LA. Does he really? And then the very next comment there, Thumper, he's a senior citizen. Did he retire in LA? I could say, hey, listen, if Odell Beckham wants to take, or if Joe Hortiz wants to take a flyer on Odell Beckham for like, I don't know, 1, maybe 2 years, but it would have to be a contract that emphasizes incentives. So if he gets 50 plus catches, he'll get, 2, 3, whatever million more. Something that's team friendly like that. Trading Allen is telling you this wide receiver class is stacked. Double dip in the draft. That's a good way of looking at it, man. That's a good way of looking at it. Because I even did a mock draft earlier in the stream here. We stuck at number 5. I didn't trade down. I said Malik Neighbors at 5. That's going to be the move. I really, really think that's the move. Or Romo Dunze. Could be Romo Dunze. Y'all talking about all the wide receivers in the draft. What about our garbage defense? We got Mikey Sanders still in this mock draft. Listen, I even said earlier as well, I placed an emphasis on saying we are bad on the perimeter. Our perimeter right now, it is worse than our trenches because we got a little beef. I mean, we're not Arby's. We don't have that much beef, but we got a little beef. We got Rashawn Slater and stuff, Zion Johnson. I think Zion Johnson could actually have a good career because he hasn't had the best start to his career, obviously. He's been moving around and along the offensive line. He's been playing with some centers like Will Clapp. Bro, Will clap nothing. He's not going to clap a defensive lineman. Let's just put it that way. And we need a center, yeah. But if you look at the perimeter, this is my point. Josh Palmer is wide receiver 1. CB1 is Asante. And who's CB2? Let me go back to the Chargers. CB2... Let's go to secondary. Can I not click secondary? Let me go back to active contracts. I think CB2 is Dean Leonard. Jasir Taylor, I guess, would be CB2. And then Matt Hankins is still on this team. He's to a reserve future contract, so he's not. This is like a training camp body. Give Quentin Johnston 5 minutes. Quentin Johnston, listen, his career is not this past season. He could be a bust, and he could be a very good wide receiver. If I remember correctly, I don't think Mike Williams had a great rookie year either. I don't think it was as bad as Quentin, but maybe it was. I don't remember exactly, but it wasn't as good. So the emphasis here, man, we just have not a lot of depth. Chris Rumph too. I'm just looking at like this defensive line. Where's CJ Okoye? There he is. Basile Okoye. Okay. Because CJ Okoye is another guy that I think provides some good depth, and he's going to improve exponentially, hopefully, because he's got all the traits that you want. He didn't fit in Staley's scheme. Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about there? Talking about Asante? Who? The Chargerian Nightmare. Yep, CJ Okoye, the Nigerian Nightmare. These neighbors highlights won't stop popping up in my feed. It's a sign, boys. Bro, that is YouTube working its magic right there. They know what you want to see. Oh, here we go. Is someone saying Terrion Arnold? Arnold? No way. Neighbors burned him and Kool-Aid. Oh, so you don't want Arnold. Listen, Malik Neighbors burned everybody. Except Ronaldo Green from Florida State. But that was a good matchup. That's why when I was here in this second round, Ronaldo Green was there. And I was thinking either him or Mikey Sammerstill. I ended up going Mikey because well, here's the other scenario that we could do here, actually. Mike Sammerstill is a really good nickel blitzer. He's really got some great football IQ. But if you want to get a guy like that in the free agent pool, which, like I said, we can absolutely do that now. Let me go to the free agents. Oh, my God. Because Arthur Maulet, I was saying this last week, Arthur Maulet is a DB from the Ravens that was really good at doing those blitzes off the edge as a cornerback. This is a cornerback. And then I also think Daniel Popper even said that in their podcast today. Go watch their podcast on the Chargers Weekly. Because I think Daniel Popper even mentioned Arthur Maulet here. But I was talking about him last week. He's still here. And Rocky Sin, he provides you that size on the outside. But Arthur Maulet, if you don't want to draft Mikey Sammerstill in the second round, Arthur Maulet gives you what Mikey Sammerstill would give you. Obviously, maybe not to that extent. Arthur Maulet is more of a proven thing. And he did just have this one past year that was really good. He's also 30 years old. I think he's going to be 31. And if you want, instead of drafting Mike Sammerstill, you could get Arthur Maulet to play that same kind of role, and then you get another guy in the second round at corner that can play on the outside. Somebody like Ronaldo Green can play on the outside. Like TJ Tampa, if he's there. And it's Rakestraw, if he is there. And then if Kool-Aid McKinstry is there, I might just take Kool-Aid. Because I know the buzz on him has gone down a little bit, but I do like Kool-Aid McKinstry still. I think it's just prospect fatigue. Let's get Justin Jefferson. I don't think that's going to happen, man. Is he even available? Watch him trade Justin Herbert next. I'm so sad. He is not trading Justin Herbert. He is on this team for sure. Do you think Chargers draft Kamari Lassiter in the second round? I do like Kamari Lassiter. He's the cornerback from Georgia. He's really physical, and he ran a 4.61, I think, at the Georgia Pro Day. That's going to hurt his draft stock. And a 4.6 at the cornerback position, especially if you're playing on the outside. You know, I would have to go back and watch more of the tape on him because I obviously I watched him. I know him. I would have to make sure that 40 speed matches up with what I see in his game speed because I do like him a lot. But the 4.6 absolutely concerns me. And if I go back and watch that game tape and I'm thinking, man, he is kind of slow, then I don't think I'd take him in the second round. Everyday Jimmy says, you guys need to calm down. There is a reason and a plan. Yes, there's a plan for everything. I still can't believe this. 4th round pick for Keenan Allen is what it ends up being. But we have a ton of cap space now. Just with the release of Mike Williams and the trade of Keenan Allen, we have that gives us $40 million in cap space, I'm pretty sure. Because if you got rid of both of those guys, that was $20 million each. Because they both had a ripcord. We just didn't expect the ripcord on Keenan Allen to, be exercised. And so this contract here with Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack is not up to date. And we have $23 million. I think it's going to be closer to 40. Austin, bro, thanks for the 5. Does this trade open up the possibility of Mike Williams returning? Tons of cap room now. Yeah, I was even talking about that earlier. I was talking about that before this Keenan Allen trade. I would love to. Whoa, Mike Williams a Chief now? No way. No way. Okay. No way Mike Williams is a Chief. You are lying to me. You're lying. No, I would have seen it in the feed. I would have seen it in the feed here. He is not a Chief. Don't believe that, dude. Don't believe him. Oh, oh my gosh, you got me. But listen, back to what Austin was saying. Does this open up the possibility of Mike Williams returning? I think there was a possibility he was returning even before this Keenan Allen trade. But now we have even more money to spend on Mike Williams if we do opt to go that route. And I think we might just do that, man. Because also, look at the sorry, I'm reading the chat. Look at the 49ers teams with Jim Harbaugh, man. Start off with Michael Crabtree in 2011, 2012, 2013. You add Anquan Boldin. So you have Michael Crabtree, Anquan Boldin. Those were their 2 wide receivers. And then in 2014, same thing. Those are big-bodied wide receivers. If you don't know those names, you don't remember those guys or whatever, those are big-bodied wide receivers. Mike Williams in a Greg Roman offense, it does have a fit. There is a use case there. 100%. The only thing now is like with the loss of Keenan Allen, yeah, I do want Mike Williams, but again, Mike Williams is not going to give you what Keenan gives you. I think you need to draft a wide receiver. And you also could look in free agency. I got a couple guys pulled up right here. Paris Campbell, could have him for cheap. $3.5 million is what they are expecting him to get. I would do a flyer on that. This is a speedster kind of guy. Add some speed to this offense. It would kind of hurt the snaps that Darius Davis would get. Michael Thomas, he's older. This is a really good fit of what Keenan Allen is. I don't think to that extent he's not as good as Keenan Allen, but he can still run a route, man. Tyler Boyd, I think this is the closest you're going to get. This is the closest you're going to get to replacing the production of what Keenan Allen was and of like what he was to Justin. He was so important in that offense. And then also remember Hunter Henry. We need a guy like Hunter Henry too. So Brock Bowers even is like in a trade down scenario, the value of Brock Bowers in this offense is higher because we don't have a guy like Keenan Allen. Look at last season's wide receiver production for Chargers. Like I said, we lost like every single person that was contributing to this offense. Austin Eckler, gone. Joshua Kelly is a free agent. Justin Herbert, he's still here. Don't listen to the people saying he could be traded. He's here. Keenan Allen is gone now. Joshua Palmer, Austin Eckler, Quentin Johnson, Gerald Everett gone. Donald Parham, he's probably not going to see as many snaps in this offense as he did this past season. So, he's still here, whatever. Mike Williams, he could be gone too. I think there's a use case and a reason to believe he could be back. Alex Erickson, not going to be here. Stone Smart is still here. Jalen Guyton gone. Darius Davis. And then these guys, it's like nothing. Simi Fehoko is back, bro. Simi Fehoko season? Anybody? But yeah, the production is going to need to be replaced. So you take out 1,200 receiving, take out 400, and the 400 here, and then the 250 here. Oh, wow. So you're losing about 70% of your receiving production in this offseason because we lost Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and Austin Eckler and Gerald Everett. And then Alex Erickson was another 200. He was actually good towards the end of this past season. We are losing so much production. We got a Bears fan in here. Bear down. Gorilla Man, you got a good one. You really did. Nothing special with Bowers, honestly. Last year, Michael Mayers, a.k.a. Baby Gronk hype, etc. Yeah, Michael Mayer was getting a bunch of hype. I do think, I was on the train. I don't know how many of you guys were watching my videos back then. I was a Dalton Kincaid kind of guy. I like Dalton Kincaid more. He's not been that next big thing either. But, when it comes to Brock Bowers, I think people are even kind of underestimating him right now. Not even joking. Justin Jefferson just got traded for a 5. I know that's a joke because I know that's not the value that he is. They've traded for a 4. They made it official, man. Keenan Allen trade is official by the team. Gosh. But again, all this production is gone. And then you look at the rushing production. A lot of this is gone too. 600 and 400, that's out. And then Easton Stick even is going to be out. So we're losing, I think, like 90% of our rushing production and close to 75% of our receiving production. This team is going to look a lot different. A ton different, man. We need to have a wide receiver in the first round. You know, I think before it wasn't like a desperate need because we have Keenan Allen and then we could still get Mike Williams. Now it's a desperate need. Marquise Brown to the Chiefs. Yep. Saw that. That happened like right as the Keenan Allen trade happened too. It's like the Chiefs were like, hold up, let's align this news with the Keenan Allen trade just to spite all the Chargers fans. T. Higgins. I'm not big on T. Higgins. Bosa should not be here. Hammy, man. Bosa took the pay cut. We gotta give it to him. He took the pay cut. Oh my gosh. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with this money. Like really, it's gonna be very, very interesting to see what Joe Hortiz does. I don't think he's gonna go for a big free agent wide receiver. Tyler Boyd would be nice, but does he want to spend that money? I think be more likely to get a lower value, lower money receiver. And then in the draft, he's probably going to draft a wide receiver very, very highly. Probably going to double dip as well. And then also the offensive line. Because what do they do at the offensive line? You use that 4th round pick and you draft offensive line depth. You got to double dip, I think, at offensive line, cornerback, wide receiver, and then draft one running back, and then you can push double dipping a running back into undrafted free agency because Joe Hortiz has proven he can find guys in undrafted free agency. Oh, man. Catching up with the chat here. Antonio Brown could come out of retirement. Leave that man alone. Y'all Chargers fans are dumb. You don't need Hall of Fame receivers to win a Super Bowl. Harbaugh is a great developer of talent. You're right, Dwayne. I think you don't need great wide receivers, especially when you have a quarterback like Justin Herbert. But when you lose a great wide receiver, it's not going to help. That's why Chargers fans are not happy with this. Because we lost a great wide receiver. It's not like we're trying to get another one. Which we probably will. With Malik Neighbors. As I've been saying. I'm big proponent of Malik Neighbors now. Huge. Before, if this Keenan Allen trade did not go down, then I would still be on the train of like trade down and get Brock Bowers or an offensive lineman or like Terrion Arnold, which is, I think, the best cornerback. We thought Keenan was the safe one. Now he might be the only one gone. Yeah. That's crazy. Bro, how the turntables. That is how the turntables. Could be worse. We could be the Raiders thinking Telesco is trading into the top 3. You know, it might not be crazy to think Tom Telesco trades up, honestly, for a quarterback. Because he traded up for a running back when running back was the biggest need on the Chargers. Traded up for a linebacker when Kenneth Murray was, the pick. And I think linebacker was the biggest need on the Chargers, or it was just kind of like front 7. We needed guys to stop the run. So he does trade up in the first round. You don't want to see him pick in the 3rd, though. I love how you put in so much work. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I'm starting to cool down from my freak out a little bit. I'm in the stage of like, okay, this is happening. I'm accepting it. I'm understanding the decision making. I read the comment. Thank you. Thank you. Yo, how did this make you feel, man? It was initially shock. Honestly, it was just shocked. I didn't believe it. I went to Twitter and I started reading it from multiple different people. And then it was like, just kind of confused. Like, I really didn't start off angry or upset. I was just really confused. But I do understand it now. He didn't need to take a pay cut. Like, they're asking him to take a pay cut. I don't understand. The thing I don't understand is why whoever, either Joe Hortiz or Jim Harbaugh, was insistent on him taking a pay cut. That's the only thing. $23.1 million saved, right? We can get some more lower price free agents. Yes, 100%. Just wanted value for Keenan, and I don't know if we got it, but I will live with it. That's about how it should be, man. Like, they asked him to take a pay cut, I'm assuming because they really wanted to be active in free agency. That's probably what it is. Hey, stop spamming, man. Sorry about that. Had to time that dude out. I know everyone was saying it in the chat. I was reading it. Joe Hortiz and Jim Harbaugh have to have someone in mind if they insisted Keenan takes a pay cut. Yes. See, that's what I'm thinking. What is up next? Because if they were insistent on him taking a pay cut, they want to spend money. Because they were cap compliant. They were totally cap compliant. If we don't get Marv, this is a waste. It's not a waste. It's not a waste if we don't get Marv. Just for the sake of it, do another one. Like, how does this work out? Marvin Harrison Jr. Still, Malik Neighbors is here. Romo Dunze is here. But if we trade down, I don't think the Titans will want to trade up. Falcons, definitely not. I think the Vikings are the most likely here. I'll give you 5. You give me 11, 42. I want something next year. No way. Give me 3. Could I get 1, 2, and 3 from the Vikings from 11 to 5? I don't think so. I'll say 1, 2, and then I think that. Can we get that too? We can get that. Let's just, it's only a 3-round mock draft. If we do trade down, what is this? Where's Khalil Mack? Khalil Mack's still on the team. Khalil Mack took a pay cut. The thing that we're trying to figure out right now is why were they insistent that Keenan takes that pay cut? Because we were cap compliant. We could have made it all work. I am reading the chat though. So if anybody has any ideas about why they would have insisted this, put in the chat. I am reading. And then also at 11, Brock Bowers is here. His receiving value is now higher in this offense because Keenan Allen is not here. Olu Fashanu. I actually think it's pronounced Fashanu. I just learned that. A little fun fact that I just learned. I think it is Fashanu. But he's here as well. Jackson Powers Johnson. I think it may be a little early for him. But I'm looking at Brock Bowers, Quinyon Mitchell, and Terrion Arnold. Amarius Mims, I think, is another name to consider here because he's got a lot of similarities to some other guys that Joe Hortiz and Chad Alexander drafted in the past, like Mekhi Becton and Orlando Brown. They want to spend some big money on a free agent pickup. I think that might be likely. My thoughts is O-line depth or secondary depth. Here's the thing too, though. If you keep Keenan Allen, we are still cap compliant, and you can still get some O-line depth and cornerback depth. So who are they paying big money? It's got to be like something big. And there's really not any like huge names to spend that money on. I mean, none that stick out. Because I already looked at the receivers. I'm pretty sure I looked at the corners. Yeah, Xavier Howard, he's not going to command big money. Jamal Adams, I don't think he's a great fit, especially with the safeties you have right now in Alohi Gilman and Derwin James. This is just kind of like Jamal Adams sort of. He gives you the same thing that Derwin James does, except at a lesser level. So you don't want to pay him. We should have kept him without the pay cut. He was the heart of the offense. He absolutely was. He was the heart of this offense. Brandon Ayuk for Joey Bosa. Okay, that's an interesting thought, actually. What was he? Hey, you got to stop spamming, man. Sorry about that. Chat's getting a little crazy. A little crazy. What was I saying? Somebody mentioned, yeah, okay. CAES Finest. I think it's K's Finest. Mentioned Brandon Ayuk for Joey Bosa. I think something that's interesting is that maybe they are looking at a trade. Because they have the money now to spend. Are they actually looking at like a T. Higgins trade? Or like even... I kind of don't even want to entertain the Justin Jefferson stuff because I really don't think it's going to happen. I don't know. I just don't think that's going to happen. Do you guys think Justin Jefferson is available? You look at who is available in the wide receiver market in terms of trades. You could, just because you restructured and Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack took a pay cut, I guess it doesn't necessarily mean they are safe. So if you want to use them as a possible trade asset, you can still do that. Because that other team is still going to get the pay cut as well. What about T. Higgins? I think, maybe they're interested in T. Higgins. It's hard for me to think that Joe Hortiz gives up the draft capital just to secure T. Higgins. I don't think he would do that. I just think he values picks too much. And you got to pay the receiver. And we're in a great spot to take a receiver in the draft. They're not trading for JJ. Yeah, I don't think Justin Jefferson is like really even available, guys. I think that's a rumor. And something that the guys were just talking about on ESPN because he didn't take the contract last year. And it's kind of a smart move to not take that contract and be on like a huge 5-year deal because every single season, that wide receiver market, the money is going to go up. So if you're like really confident in your abilities and really smart, you would put off signing a big contract for as long as possible, even if you're going to stay with that team. So I don't think Justin Jefferson, man. Justin Simmons, maybe they want to rebuild offense instead of defense. I think you mean the other way around. But yeah, I did say Justin Simmons is a possibility because Jesse Mentor uses safeties a lot. He uses 2 high looks. He uses 3 high looks. He uses single high safety. He has so many different looks in the in his defense and along his defensive front. So Justin Simmons actually is a legit target here because Alohi Gilman doesn't do what Justin Simmons does. Derwin James can, but you would rather put him in a better position to succeed because he does other things well. And then you have Justin Simmons back there. That's a really good 3-safety, 3-headed monster. And then you could even have Alohi Gilman play, I don't know. Maybe he could play some slot, like some nickel. Or maybe Derwin James. Okay, so Derwin James, I remember he was locking up Keenan Allen sometimes at training camp. Maybe you could even push him to play like outside corners for some look if you sign Justin Simmons. Because also remember, he doesn't count against that comp pick formula. That's why this could be like legit. No lie, though, I'm excited to see what Hortiz has in store next. I am too. I'm very, very excited. Bears robbed y'all. Martin says, I think this was out of impulse, being upset he didn't take the cut. So, yeah, here's the thing. Was it reported that they asked him to take the pay cut today? Because I think, like, that's how I read it. Was that how it's reported? I just want to get confirmation in chat if anybody knows, like, for sure. But if that is what happened, why did they wait until today? And then, dang, this moved fast. Like, this moved so fast that it, like, they were conversing about it. Yes, it was reported today. Yeah, it was reported, but, like, did it transpire today? Because those are two different things, I think. If they asked him to take a pay cut and said, hey, get back to us, here's your 2-week notice, we want you to take a pay cut by, the start of NFL free agency, they told him 2 weeks ago, it's different, and it's not more of a like, oh my gosh, freak out, I have to trade him now and get more cap space. He was asked to take a pay cut today. They asked today. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Herbert throwing to no one now? Bro, he's going to be throwing to Josh Palmer and Malik Neighbors. Let me go back to the mock draft. I'm all over the place. Here's the scenario where you trade down. Because look, the Vikings, they trade up with us for J.J. McCarthy. In this scenario, I think we actually need a lot of DB help. But do we sign Justin Simmons? I think even if we do sign Justin Simmons, someone to look out for, Terrion Arnold. I might take Terrion Arnold over everybody. I might just do that because offensive line, yeah, we need help. Terrion Arnold or Quinyon Mitchell. I actually like T. Arnold. But I could be convinced either one. Whoever the Chargers like. Probably had a trade lined up beforehand, but asked to take a pay cut and then pulled the trigger when he said no. I don't know. Hayden Hurst is wide receiver 1 now? No. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Hayden Hurst is wide receiver 1. He's the top target. And then in the second round, so now we drafted a cornerback. We desperately need a wide receiver. And Brian Thomas Jr. went to the Eagles. That's kind of a weird fit. I don't like that fit for them. They already have Devontae Smith. But he's gone. A.D. Mitchell's gone to the freaking Bills. And then Xavier Worthy to the Chiefs. I don't think Xavier Worthy's going to the Chiefs anymore. Because they signed Marquise Brown, by the way. Chase Young thoughts? I thought Chase Young signed. Didn't Chase Young sign to some team? I thought I saw that. Just reading the comments. Was there someone spamming again? We got Cameron Dicker to score everything? Yeah. We got a good kicker. We got a dang good kicker. So then here's the thing too. TJ Tampa fell to us in this spot. So Troy Franklin, I like him as a wide receiver. I would rather take Roman Wilson. I do like Ricky Pearsall though. Ricky Pearsall is a guy that is like a New England Patriots front office person's dream. Xavier Worthy to the Chargers in the second. Like if he's there, which, I don't expect the Chiefs to draft him here. That's the way it was in this mock draft. If he's there, I don't know. He's kind of inconsistent. He's got a ton of speed. I like the speed that he has, but if that's the only thing he has, I don't know, because also there are size concerns there because he's like 165 pounds, I think he weighed in at the combine. South Carolina wide receiver in round 3, Xavier Legette. I don't know if he'll last that long, but okay. I do want to draft a wide receiver. It's looking like Roman Wilson. Here's Xavier Legette, the guy that you were just talking about in the chat. But we need a big body guy. I really, really like Brendan Rice, actually. Oh, man. I could... So one scenario here is we could push wide receiver until the 3rd round. We could take Zach Frazier. I like Mason McCormick, too. He had a really good RAS score. That means he's a big athlete. Like a good athlete. Mason McCormick. But... I think I'm going to take Zach Frazier because I really like this wide receiver class. And I think... Where is he? I don't think he made it. Did he make it? I think Brendan Rice would be here. And Brendan Rice, he is here. I might take Brendan Rice over all these guys. But Roman Wilson is still here in the 3rd? Or is this the 2nd? It's the 2nd that I traded for. Okay, that made it so much easier. I'm taking Roman Wilson in the 2nd round because we traded down with the Vikings and got their 2nd round pick. Boom. Now this is looking actually very good. And who do I want here? We have O-line depth with Zach Frazier. He's going to be playing center. We have Roman Wilson. He's going to be playing wide receiver. Right now at linebacker, We're probably not going to make any big free agent moves. Oh, we got a chat here. Dat Mex boy with the $5. Thank you so much, bro. Michael, how is this a good move? I need help processing this. A 4th round pick. So we need to have perspective here. Keenan Allen for a 4th straight up. It's not great when you look at it. But when you look at the cap savings, you look at the wide receiver class in the draft, you just, a big perspective here. And we got a 4th round pick because they approached him with taking a pay cut. They really were insistent on him taking a pay cut. He wasn't going to do that. I got nothing against him. None of us have anything against him for not taking the pay cut. That's business. And so if he is not going to take the pay cut, and Joe Hortiz or Jim Harbaugh said, if you're not going to do this, we are going to get rid of you, then at least we got a 4th. At least we got a 4th round pick. That's the way that we got to process it, because we at least got something out of him, and we can draft really good wide receivers in the draft, man. And even there could be a big move looming. Really, there could be a big move looming. 4th round pick is Blake Corum, somebody said. Jimmy said. Blake Corum could be there in the 4th. He could be. But let's see. This is my 3rd round pick, and I like T'Vondre Sweat. He's a really big defensive tackle. If you guys don't know him, he's like a run stuffer. Huge. I think it's like 360. We can get a running back, but I don't want to take running back this highly. We can also get Renardo Green, and we already drafted Terry and Arnold in the 1st. So what I'm going to do, Junior Colson is going to be my linebacker. This is a guy who's really good at shooting gaps. That was it? Oh, yeah, I didn't take their 3rd round pick as well. That was our 3rd. This is the draft. Just going to the 3rd round. This is the draft if you trade down now. Roman Wilson in the 2nd round. He can give you some of what Keenan Allen gives you. And also, we got tons of money to spend in free agency. Stuff is still going to happen. Trust in the coach. You're right, Rich. We always say, in Jim Harbaugh, we trust, man. Is Thule backing up Bosa, or is Thule starting? That's a good question. I think maybe that job might be up for grabs. And then also, we need depth behind Joey Bosa, Thule, and Khalil Mack. Because what's going to happen if Joey Bosa gets injured again? Then we only have Thule and Khalil Mack, and then we're in that same spot of throwing Chris Rumpf out there, throwing guys like, who was the guy? Andrew Farmer. What was the other guy's name? Lang or something. You don't want to be in that position. And Joe Hortiz is going to get depth on this team. Renardo Green is a stud. Dan, you're right. Yes, he is. I think if you want an outside corner, you go for Renardo Green in a 2nd round. And then in the 1st round, if you get Renardo Green, if that's the plan in the 2nd round, 1st round, you're going to want pass catcher. Brock Bowers, Malik Neighbors, Romo Dunze. And then even if you want to take Joe Alt at 5, I don't know if I'd be down to do that anymore. Keenan had a $5 million bonus this weekend. Could that have something to do with it? Yeah. I think they were maybe they were asking him to not scratch that $5 million bonus. Maybe that's what the pay cut was. And then what are they going to do with that $5 million? That's the thing. They are so insistent on him taking that pay cut and using that money. What are they going to spend it on? Something big is happening. I'm going to be thinking about this all night. I like the corner from Missouri. Ennis Rankstraw is who you're thinking of, Kobe. He is a target in the 2nd round for sure. Ennis Rankstraw would also be a very good scheme fit. Really good scheme fit. Here's a comment. Is Bowers a no-go? I watched your video on the free agency tight ends, but now since Keenan and Mike Williams are gone, would they draft Malik Neighbors or trade down for more picks with different wide receivers? I don't think, listen, the moves that the Chargers have made in free agency with getting those tight ends, none of those guys are going to prohibit you from exercising your plan if the plan is to get Brock Bowers. They're not going to stop you. Nothing big is happening. Then why were they asking him to take a pay cut? They had the money. We were 20-ish million under the cap. So what is the money for if they were so insistent on him taking that pay cut? That's, you know what I'm saying? Could we get Justin Jefferson realistically? No, I don't think so. I don't think Justin Jefferson. Fire Harbaugh. We want Staley. Yeah, Vince. Keenan is going to be 32. I understand the trade. Like we all understand it, right? We can all understand this trade. It just hurts because he was great and he was still a very good wide receiver. He was getting up there in age. We do need to get younger at that position. And it was working out, man. Like it was actually working out. We had the money. I can't believe this. I'm going to make a video about this tomorrow. Well, what do you guys think is happening? Like, I'm starting to think more and more because look, 23 million. Before the restructures of Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, we were way under the cap. Make it make sense. It's got to be somebody here. Got to be somebody, man. Like, do they really want... Is a trade in play? CJ Uzoma, by the way, was the tight end I was talking about earlier in the stream, who I thought could possibly be another addition to this team. Man. Like, Bradley Bozeman, I think, is a good center. I was going to make a video about him tomorrow, but I'm not going to anymore. Like, I'd rather have Brandon Ayuk than Higgins. Yeah, someone in the chat said, trade Joey Bosa for Brandon Ayuk. I think you'd have to give up a little more. But I like the thought. I like the base of that trade. I don't like the idea of spending a lot of money at wide receiver. But we have the money now. So, you know, you got to spend it. Yeah, I mean, what's his market value? 24 million. Keenan was at around 30. He's only a 14 million cap hit. Is that true, or is it like, because you would have to rework that contract. You'd have to extend him and all that if you do trade for him. Yeah, 14 million cap hit for next year. Okay. Yep, that is right. You keep saying Brandon Ayuk, Eddie. Listen, it may be. It's tough to know. Like, it's really tough to put my finger on it. Brian is asking me, do you think that since we have a more run-heavy offense, we are going for bigger blocking guys? Yeah. They definitely want better run blockers, and they're going to be running the ball a lot more often. So, yes, that is true, but if you're asking, like, does this Keenan Allen trade have anything to do with that? I don't know. I don't think so. Ridiculous to think that they're going to sign a huge contract after just trading one. Yeah. I'm with you, Dan, because it doesn't make sense. But they are getting rid of a huge contract to have the money then to spend on what, if not another huge contract? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I am asking. Because do they just want to get that money and allocate it to a bunch of other different guys? That could be the thing. That's what I would do. I would not want to trade for a guy like Brandon Ayuk just flat out because of a bunch of money that would be tied to him. Justin Jefferson's not even a thought, really. And then, who's the other guy we were talking about? T. Higgins. I don't want T. Higgins. Is there like somebody available, an offensive lineman available in the trade market? They trade Herbert. No, they're not going to trade Herbert, Tim. Don't even think about that. Don't. Tyron Smith in free agency. Tyron Smith could give you a good 10 games-ish. But then what are you going to do at tackle after those 10 games? Because he's injured. He's always going to be injured. And he's very old. Yeah, not T. Higgins, says Jose. Listen, I would like T. Higgins on the team, but I don't want to trade for him, and I don't want to pay him. That's a lot of money to pay him, and he deserves that money. I just think they should, allocate it to different areas on this team. We were looking at how little depth this team has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Trey Pipkins is our 6th highest paid player. Connor Williams in free agency, we could absolutely do that. That's a good one, Dan. If you guys don't know, Connor Williams is center. He has center guard flexibility. I think that is a legit target. That could be the target. Could be the guy. Him and Justin Simmons, I think, are very likely. Connor Williams is just a free agent, right? Market value around $13 million. That could work. Like, they can make that work. Might get Jim Harbaugh or Telesco on the phone. I blocked their number. I blocked Telesco's number. I can't get him on the phone. But I would if I didn't block him because I totally have it. Ezekiel Elliott. I don't think they're going to add any more running backs. Connor Williams, though, I think that's a good fit. I think Connor Williams, Justin Simmons, you got to look out for. Connor Williams is just a free agent, so he will count against that comp pick formula. That's something to note. We need almost every position. That money will be spread out to build this team, not for 1 or 2 huge contracts. Golden today, right there with you. I am right there. But the point is they wanted to get out of that Keenan Allen contract in order to spend that money in some way. So whether it's 10 guys or 1 guy, they wanted the money. He's off a big injury, but had a great season. Listen, man, anyone in free agency right now at this point, they're going to have something that is not ideal. That's kind of how the free agency market is, really. But it's not to say that he can't come in and have a good season. It's also not to say he can't come in and be a bust. It's just that's football. That's business. Nothing's a sure thing. There just has got to be something more to this move. I'm excited to see what it is, but in the meantime, this hurts. Ali, or is it Ali? Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. Chargers fan for 42 years. Yeah, this sucks, but you can't pay a 32-year-old wide receiver $34 million. Yeah, I mean, the way to get around that, though, was that the max restructures to basically be like an extension so that you don't have to pay him all that money this year, and then you can push that back because they have over $100 million for these next 2 years. They have $189 million next year, $180 million 2025, so they could have made it work with an extension. But maybe they didn't want to extend him because he is, going to be 32. So yeah, Rick. Yep. You nailed it. Reallocating money to several holes. No way they spend big on any player, but they definitely need to improve at wide receiver. Yep. But don't be surprised if they trade down and pass on Marvin Harrison Jr. or Malik Neighbors. Kyle Davis. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised at a trade down still. I mean, I always kind of thought that was the way. It was the way to go. But I do, my initial reaction to this, my feeling right now, what I want is a guy like Malik Neighbors. I'd rather stick there and pick. Somebody just said Michael Thomas in the chat. We were already talking about Michael Thomas. Gaming Star saying Michael Thomas. I mean, listen. He's old. He's 31 years old. He's had some injuries in the past. He's not going to give you everything Keenan would. And also, Keenan's the same age. Yeah, Keenan's only a couple months older than Michael Thomas, so you're not really moving the needle, I guess. You know, why would you get rid of Keenan if you're just gonna pay Michael Thomas? Michael Thomas still playing? Yes, he's still playing. He's trying to, at least. He's a free agent. He'll get signed, okay? He's not bad. He's good. He's not as good as he used to be. But like he's still a good route runner, and those guys, when you get older, you still have that route running ability. How do we trade away our number one all-time wide receiver and maybe the greatest short intermediate route runner in NFL history for a 4th round pick? Yeah, that's business. When you look at it just kind of from that perspective, it's tough. But gotta look at it from every different angle, every angle here. And it's not a terrible move. It's not. It sucks, it hurts. But it's not a bad move. I'm really interested to see what they do with the money, though, because with that $20 million that they're saving, how are they going to spend this $20 million? He's not even on here anymore. How are they going to spend? He's not even here. Because you do save $20 million just by getting rid of him. He had a cap hit of like 30-ish, 34. So 14 million dead cap. $20 million, how are you going to spend it? It better be in a better allocated way than all on Keenan Allen, right? And a 4th round pick. The Acho comment had me dying. What did Acho say? Talking about Emmanuel Acho. Oh gosh. Can they trade the $23 million for draft picks? LOL. Yeah, do like cash considerations like they do in baseball. That's the Dodgers' best asset, cash considerations. Hunter Renfroe to 7 to 8 million. I do it for lower. I would do Hunter Renfroe for like 5 and then incentives. But I'd rather just bring back Mike Williams and then draft a guy. Because Hunter Renfroe, he's not a spring chicken. And also this past season, like I said, it was weird. He wasn't getting playing time for the Raiders. How is he not going to play on the Raiders? Acho is going to somehow blame this on the social media quarterback. Yeah. How can you not get your wide receiver to take a pay cut when all you do is post on social media? He doesn't even have social media, I think. He has Instagram. Patriots used to do these kind of trades when they were a dynasty team and it worked for them. Better let them go a year early than a year late. Yeah, and I think like the Ravens do moves like this all the time as well. Like when you're a year early at letting one of the best players go, it's gonna look bad. Like no other way you put it. A couple of people saying Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy has got that speed, but there are some size concerns. He's 165, I think it was at the combine. Oh, here we go. Dan says 164. I was 1 pound off. 164 at the combine. Usually when guys weigh in that little, they don't have a great NFL career. Who was the guy who broke the record and didn't have a good career at all? I'm forgetting his name. Oh, man, but it was like Josh or something. But he broke the record for the 40-yard dash, and he was so just not built for the NFL because he just did not have the frame. So, yeah, Xavier Worthy, he's got that speed. John Ross, thank you. So, yeah, Xavier Worthy, man, like he's got that speed, but if you love the speed that much, you should also look at the other intangible and the size. The size should worry you as well, just as much as you love the speed, in my opinion. So, when you put those two together, he's more in the middle. More in the middle for me. I love the speed, concerned about the size. So he's like right here. There are other wide receivers I would take. Did Justin Herbert take a pay cut too? No, but you can restructure him. I know there's a way to restructure him somehow and save think it was like 8 million or something. This cap stuff, like we don't know all of the information within the contract, so it's really, really tough to predict. That's why we don't know how much cap room that they would have had if they didn't if they didn't trade Keenan Allen and they just restructured and gave pay cuts to Khalil and Joey Bosa. Oh, Chris Johnson was all right. Chris Johnson wasn't 160 pounds, though. He was big. But yeah, he was fast. He was good. He was really good. CJ 2K. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. Moses. Tevin Reese, 7th round a while back. Oh, my gosh. And that was around the same time that the Raiders had all of those wide receivers that were like really speedy guys, but they could not catch to save their life. I will always remember that, man. They were the fastest team, but they were no good, but they were fast. And we missed out on Devin White. Yeah, you're right, Ben. We could have had that money. And Eagles, they only spent like $7.5 million on Devin White. Trust the process, I guess. Yeah, I do still trust the process. G Rocca. Marvin Harrison Jr. falling to the 37th pick. Yeah, let's go. I love that energy. Sounds like Quentin Johnson fast but can't catch to save his life. I mean, the Quentin Johnson can catch. It's just that he does it inconsistently. You know, he has drops. That's what it is. He can catch, but he can drop too. Oh, man. L'Jarius Sneed. Oh, man. I hate that I love that. It's not going to happen. L'Jarius Sneed would never be traded to us because that's an interdivisional trade. And they'd be giving up the draft pick. I don't think they want to trade and give up a draft pick. But, man, I do like L'Jarius Sneed. I think some team is going to trade for him, and he's going to get paid. And he deserves it. It's just not going to be us. I do like with Keenan Allen being gone, it does make me like the idea of Brock Bowers in the first round a little more. Sign Malcolm Floyd. Why would you go for Malcolm Floyd when you can have Mike Williams? It's the same kind of thing. We have 38 million to spend now. Was that a tweet or something? Let me just go back. I haven't refreshed the timeline in a long time, man. Nothing here. No. Our rookie deal on his first two cheap. Wait, whoa. What is this? Botched having Justin Herbert on a rookie deal. His first 2 cheap cap years. Oh. Yeah. Oh, man. This guy's calling out Tom Telesco. Warren Sharp is. Go follow this guy if you guys don't. Jeez. Yeah. You know, with the way the roster was constructed, they were going all in with very top-end heavy talent. Had to all fall apart at some point. Cameron Curl was another guy that I did like. I thought he was going to be a safety that could give you some value. We obviously re-signed Alohi Gilman. He kind of does what Alohi does. But yeah, Justin Simmons. I'm starting to feel it. Starting to feel Justin Simmons. Here we go. Updated spreadsheet. 38 million. Okay. Thank you to whoever said the 38 million. Aaron Adams. Thank you, man, in the chat. 38 million. This is how it all works out. And the yellow is what is not confirmed. So what's not confirmed is the 11 million. Just want to, make sure you see. Let me move my camera here. Sorry about that. Now you see. 38 million. So projected 11 million in savings and then projected 12 million. And this does take into account the draft compensation and then also where is the in-season budget right here, the release and then the signing. Okay. What about the Corey Linsley? I'm sure he's got the Corey Linsley thing adjusted here as well. So we're looking at 38 million roughly 38 million that we have to spend. Also, did I say this is Daniel Popper of The Athletic? He's freaking awesome. He's so awesome. A spreadsheet genius. So with $38 million to spend, they are going to spend it somehow. I mean, what was the urgency? We got pick 110 for Keenan. Patriots said they're not interested in a quarterback at 3. Smokescreen? Yeah, I think it's a smokescreen. I would not believe that at all. Don't believe that. Chargers are rich. Yeah, we really got a lot of money now. Seriously. We have a ton of money. Aaron says he wouldn't take a cut, so they trade him for a 4th. I don't get it. No, you get it. You get it, man. Aaron, you got it. It sounds like you got a really good grasp of it. They wanted him to take a pay cut because they wanted to have that money. And now they have the money and a 4th-round pick. Alohi Chihu? What? You think Keenan Allen would be worth it first? So, yeah, Kyle. If he was younger and not on a big contract, he would be worth a lot more. But just like you look at what the other receivers were going for, Deontay Johnson was just traded to, the Panthers? Like, they're not. And then even look at other guys like Justin Fields. He's a quarterback, but the Bears are not getting the compensation that they are wanting. That's why he's not been traded yet. Like, teams are not trading as much in terms of higher draft picks to get these guys anymore, especially the aging guys. Keenan Allen is worth a 3rd at best. Yeah, Nathan, I think I would have loved a 3rd. I think a 3rd is kind of more where it should have been. But what do I know? I'm not going to argue. If Joe Hortiz thought the best he could get is a 4th, that's the best he could get. Obviously, if he could get a 3rd, he'd get a 3rd. It just wasn't on the table. But in my heart, he's worth 2 first. I'm just going to leave it at that. Ridley got $24 million this year. Yeah, Calvin Ridley did get paid. And when you look at that contract compared to what Keenan Allen has, that's why the Bears took him. It doesn't look that bad. Like I said, that wide receiver market, it goes up and up every year. These guys in free agency and that are going to get extended, their money goes up every year. So the sooner that you sign these big name guys, the better of a deal it's going to be long term. Because you can sign them at the market rate that they are at that moment, rather than it's just going to keep going up. It's just going to keep going up. Look at the Cowboys with Dak Prescott. They kept pushing back that contract. Now they're in a tough spot with him. Because if they just signed him to a huge deal before, with the way the salary cap has increased, the way the QB market and the value with the QBs has increased, man, it put them in a tough spot. We got people. Keenan Allen didn't take a restructure / pay cut. Bosa and Mack did. Corey Linsley took a restructure, and he has a damn heart condition. Yeah. I mean, again, Rick, I don't blame Keenan. We can't blame Keenan, man. Is Corey Linsley retiring? Yeah. He's retiring, and he actually restructured and, took a pay cut on his contract in order to help the Chargers out with the cap situation. A lot of guys, they did as much as they could right now with the cap situation. If I am thinking correctly, they could have cut Morgan Fox to save some money. They could have saved $3 million to cut Morgan Fox, and they would never cut Asante. And I don't think so. They did everything besides cutting Morgan Fox in order to get more cap room. Yeah. So they made every move that they could in order to get that cap space. They really, really wanted that cap space. You don't blame Keenan, Rick? Yeah. Bring Kadarius Toney to LA? No. Kadarius Toney, he can stay. He can stay in, was he a free agent now? He can stay there. Worst team in the NFL? No, it's not. Now you're exaggerating. I know we're mad, but they're not the worst. Connor Williams and maybe DJ Chark. I like the Connor Williams because we need that depth. That's a good one. DJ Chark. I'd rather have Mike Williams and then draft a guy. And then, yeah, spend that money on defense. We got QJ. He's pretty much Kadarius Toney. Nathan. Listen, Quentin Johnston, I know it wasn't a great year, but he can still be something. He could be a contender. Mecole Hardman, no. Kendrick Bourne was signed, so we can't get Kendrick Bourne, but I do like Kendrick Bourne. I would have considered it. 100% draft Roman Wilson. I would love Roman Wilson. I would absolutely love Roman Wilson in the draft. Actually, this is how much I love him. I did draft him. Man, it's 9:25 right now. Oh my gosh. I've been live for like 2 hours. I've been like word vomiting, honestly, with you guys and reading chat. Thanks for being there for me. Like, I was walking my dog. I was having a good day. And then I see this notification on Twitter and I'm like, excuse me? I didn't have the time to make a video. So I was like, let me just go live. And I'm so glad that you guys were here, man. Mike, you're a real one. Thanks, Rick. You're a real one, Rick. Really, we're in this together, bro. What kind of dog? I don't even know. It's a rescue. Is it like a husky shepherd mix? She's like a white dog. Big white dog. You look like Herbert. We should trade him too and sign you. No. I was going to be all for it, but then I thought, you know what? My lower back kind of hurts. Like, not behind that offensive line. I don't think so. You're on the East Coast? Oh, bro. Yo, if you're on the East Coast, you're a real one. Because this new news didn't even drop until it was probably like 9 o'clock your time. Corum already has some wear and tear on him. Yeah, Blake Corum, he does have wear and tear on him. He's got... What year was it? If anybody in the chat knows, there was 1 year that he got injured pretty badly, and then he just like never really had that same bounce to him, you know? I think it was 2022. But he was still very productive. So there is something to say for that. He's always been productive. But he also has had Donovan Edwards ever since that injury. Dropped around 10:30 East Coast time. Here we go. Is it possible we can draft a wide receiver in the first and the third? I wouldn't rule that out. I would not rule that out. And then if you do that, then you'd probably be looking at Malik Neighbors in the first. And then in the third round, man, would Ricky Pearsall be there? I think he's probably flying up boards. So in the third round, Roman Wilson's not going to be there in the third. I'm trying to think who would be there that we want. Okay, Johnny Wilson, Florida State. Could be there. Deployed in Germany, wake up at 4:30 for my day, and first thing I see, bro, Aaron. Oh, man. You're going to be on one today. You're not going to be able to stop thinking about this. I'm not going to be able to sleep. Devontae Walker. Ooh, would he be there in the third? He didn't have a great, what is it called? Not Pro Day. Not Combine. Senior Bowl. He didn't have a great Senior Bowl. He was actually dropping some passes, but when he was at North Carolina, he was catching balls. Oh, Malik Washington. Yes, Dan. Malik Washington in the third. I actually really, really like that. He's got some really good stats to back up his play, too. He's kind of got like a little Deebo Samuel in him, but he's only 5'9", but I think he's like 200 pounds. I would love that. I would really like that a lot, actually. That's a good wide receiver room, man. That was a good one, Dan. So then you would have Malik Neighbors, probably Josh Palmer as number 2, right? And then you'd have, would Quentin Johnston be the third guy? And then Malik Washington. I think Malik Washington would be that third guy. He'd be kind of like that slot guy. But then if you draft Malik Washington, that kind of takes away some snaps from Darius Davis, which you give it competition. Darius Davis is not going to stop me from drafting a wide receiver that I like. Washington is like a jacked up Tank Dell. Oh, yes. He's not quite as fast, but I do see that. Yeah. Trey Burton, Jalen Polk, or Malik Washington, Dan says. I like Jalen Polk a lot. If we re-sign Mike Williams, I think Jalen Polk does what Mike Williams does. So then you would go for another guy like Malik Washington. Taj Washington. Oh, Alabama Hot Pocket. 2 heaters right there. First of all, you got a great freaking name, Alabama Hot Pocket. And then you drop a prospect on me that I like a lot from USC, Taj Washington. Speedy wide receiver. He can catch the ball. That dude, he's got a little bit. I'm not saying that he is Tyreek Hill. He's got a little bit of Tyreek Hill in him because he can catch contested balls too. I was watching him at USC. Caleb Williams throwing that ball up there to Taj Washington, man. I would like that. That would be a really good wide receiver room. Do you know what an Alabama Hot Pocket is? No. Is that something weird? Oh, God. Did I just get... We need a better pass rush. Yeah, Timothy. We have 3 guys now that I think are really solid if they stay healthy. That's the big thing. Khalil Mack, the ability to keep Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, that's huge for this team. It's real weird. I'm an idiot then. Then I take back what I said. That's not a great name. Don't look it up. Don't put it in the chat what it is. Just let us be little. I'm banned. Malachi Corley getting a lot of hype. I think he could be a guy that you look back on the draft and say, why was he not taken higher? Him and Jamari Thrash from, I think, Louisville? It's super weird. Oh my God. How would Jerome Baker scheme with Minter? Well, Jerome Baker, he's basically just a coverage linebacker. He's not going to give you much for run defense. He's not going to give you much in pass rush. And what Jesse Minter does with his linebackers a lot is he uses them on the line of scrimmage sometimes. And it's weird because he uses them as pass rushers, but he also uses them as coverage linebackers a ton. So Jerome Baker, not going to give you much in pass rush, but he could be a threat in pass rush so that you can drop him back into coverage. Yeah, that Michigan defensive line, they would have so many different fronts of bringing those inside linebackers on the line of scrimmage. They would cause so much confusion for the offensive line. Trade Herbert for Zach Wilson. That's the move. Love that move. Thrash is my Keenan comp. He has some crisp routes. Yeah, Jamari Thrash could be a very good, wide receiver from this draft. One of those guys we think should have been taken higher. What are we going to do? Man. Buy bandwagon fans? Yeah, if you were a bandwagon fan, you're probably gone. Which cornerbacks should we replace? Like, who should we take? Are you talking about Ennis Rakestraw from not Michigan? I'm tired now. Ennis Rakestraw from Missouri. Terran Arnold from Alabama. Kool-Aid McKinstry from Alabama. I like all of those guys. And then also Quinyon Mitchell in the first round. Same area that you would take Terrion Arnold. If you want to look at the second round, like I said, Ennis Rakestraw and TJ Tampa. Kool-Aid McKinstry could be there in the second round as well. Troy Franklin is a beast. Troy's got some good film. He's got some really good film. Can Kool-Aid be there at 37? Yeah, I don't know, Nathan. I think Kool-Aid's a first-round corner. But if you're asking me who I like more, Terrion Arnold or Quinyon Mitchell, I like Terrion. I like Terrion Arnold. Oh my gosh. Well, man, I've got to make a video about this tomorrow, about this whole Keenan Allen thing when I'm well adjusted, when I am thinking about it more, I guess. Is Easton Stick still going to be our backup quarterback? He's a free agent, so I don't think so because he doesn't have ties to this coaching staff, so I'd expect him to not be here. You always find the positive. Thanks, man. Adonai Mitchell, if he can last to the second round, I'd love that, Santiago. But you know what, man? I don't want to hold you guys for too long. And do expect a video tomorrow. Look at my hair. This is what a Keenan Allen trade does to a man. Oh, we need more mock drafts from you and stuff. I'll do a mock draft this weekend. This Keenan Allen video is... I got to talk about this tomorrow. I have to. I have more to say. I'll probably reiterate some of the stuff I was talking or saying in the stream because I'm still going to believe this tomorrow. You know. Did we get Poona Ford? Yes, we did. Made a video about that like 3 hours ago. Good night, Michael. Later, Nathan. Oh, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, by the way. Really, I didn't know how many people would be here in this live stream. I just was like, I need to go live. I can't make a video. I need to talk. So, yeah, it was fun hanging out, bro. It was awesome. I will see you guys in a video tomorrow titled Keenan Allen got traded to the Bears. Something along the lines of that. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I will see you guys. It was fun. It was fun to be here. Even though the Keenan Allen trade was not that fun. But yeah. I'll be waiting for your vid tomorrow. Thank you, bro. Don't stress. I won't, Eddie. I won't. We're staying positive. We're staying positive. All right, man. Bolt up. Guys, you guys got to remember. What do I always say? Stay bolted up. All right? We trust in that Harbaugh vision. That is what is happening right now. We knew that there were going to be some tough moves that had to be made. This is the first one. Everything else, it was a little, sunflower and roses. This is the first one that stings. There's going to be some bees in the bushes. All right? I am going, man. Hope everyone has a good night. Hope you sleep. I'm probably not going to sleep, but I hope you guys sleep. All right. I will see you. See you tomorrow.